can't find it.
Oh yeah, we're not live yet.
We're not live yet.
Now we are 3 minutes. Live video. Okay, we are good. They can hear us. I'm gonna flip.
Is this your Patria?
Yeah.
I think I might have ran out of juice too.
I got mine. Oh, drink glass. You drink tequila?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
Will you kill the overhead audio, please?
On it.
You could go get
I'll
a
go
glass.
glass. I got you.
Appreciate it. Make sure I get my radio
Talk through
voice.
the mic.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to rock.
Dun, 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 See, it'll show up like that. We already got 9 on. What is happening? Frank the Tank is in. Larry Adams, of course. Chris Pennington. Share it with your friends. Newbies.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitches.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're at 1:15.
We got to invite our.
We got people in.
Yeah. Stacking them on.
I like to see how Sam is a familiar face now.
Yeah.
Frank, like I said, if a tornado does bust out, Ale is at home with the baby solo, and she'll be in the pantry, and the back door will be unlocked.
Panic mode.
Why, the weather's that bad?
There's a tornado watch right now.
I thought it was...
How's our audio picking up there, Pops?
Oh, shit.
How's our audio picking up there, Pops? How's our audio picking up there, Pops? Oh, shit. Okay, audio's
That's
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
30 seconds. And there is a good chance that our camera dies.
Why?
30 seconds.
Better?
It's low. Ish.
The day that Brandon just needs to put an ad out on Indeed.
Oh, hang on here.
And somebody just, we're looking to hire somebody that will recharge batteries.
That's the problem. They just keep dying.
Should
2
probably-
seconds. 1 second. Bam, boys.
Hey.
What's happening?
Hold
Hang
on just a second.
I gotta slide a little bit because I got Anthony looking awfully Wesley Snipes over here.
That's right. Pay your fucking taxes.
Oh, man. All right.
I told you he was shy.
I know it. Audio good. Actually, this is pretty solid.
We're it?
Yeah.
I think we're looking good. I think we're on schedule and everything's good. Welcome, everyone, for joining us. This is Cigar Talk Live. This is our Tuesday get-together where we get to talk with you beautiful people and smoke cigars with these beautiful people. And this week we get to put up a glass and join with everybody. But first things first, gentlemen, what's happening?
Here it is. There it goes. There it is. It's around the horn. Just like that.
And
So-
now let's
Boom.
start it. Salud.
Salud.
Guys, cheers and cheers to y'all. Thanks for joining.
Yes. What are you guys drinking tonight? What are you smoking tonight? It is going to be a great Tuesday night show. We're dodging tornadoes here in Dallas, and it ain't no thing. You know how you know who all the Nebraskans are that live in Dallas? As soon as the tornado sirens go off, we all go out to the driveway and watch it happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to check it out real quick.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I did
My
that
neighbors
down-
are like, go in the house through the window, and I'm like, hey!
Just checking. I did that one time when we had a serious situation, and I went to check it, and when I opened, the wind was howling, and it just ripped the door right into me. And then I shut it.
Yeah,
Kick
lock it.
stop. I was like, we're cool here.
That's what pantries were made for.
That was enough.
Yeah, that was Ale's mom's first time in Dallas. Her first night sitting there. So that was
So Ale's first trip to Nebraska, was what we call FAC, freezing ass cold.
That's a technical
Yeah.
term. You know that. You're from Ohio.
You're
From Ohio, that's right.
Let Brandon introduce our guest.
Right here.
I get too nervous talking about him.
This
when
is
I,
the
when I make
man.
eye contact.
This
with
is Anthony Hoskin. He is repping La Galera tonight, as you can tell by his
Damn, all you gotta do is send him a shirt.
regional manager shirt here. Anthony, will you tell them what they need to know?
What y'all need to know is,
Hang on. All right. I have an idea where you're going to go.
what you need to know is, it's a beautiful thing in tobacco. A lovely thing in tobacco. It brought all of us together. I call it a vacation. Go out, come to ICC, get your cigars, meet some fantastic people. It's life-changing.
That's it.
That's a
Cheers.
free plug. Okay, and we're
Nice.
done. That's it.
That's it.
All right.
Great
That was
show.
a good show, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this.
Wrap it up!
Wrap it up. Okay, but for
that's-
real, thank you for not saying anything about Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yep, we appreciate that.
Is that your cigar that's
That's
cut?
his.
Is that whose is whose? Let's fire.
This one's his.
Okay.
Thank you. And on that note, yes, I am from Columbus, Ohio, representing the Ohio State Buckeyes, baby. That's what we got in Columbus. If we may, just out of pure respect, a couple days ago, Dwayne Haskins passed away.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Certainly unfortunate. We want to make sure that we acknowledge, and hold that down. So,
It just goes to show it could happen at any time.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
On a lighter note, you also have. We have three things in common: cigars, college football in our town, and a zoo.
A zoo.
In the Columbus Zoo, like next level,
It is.
we have a zoo that we. Just like Frisco's the fastest growing city in the country,
Yes.
the Omaha Zoo legitimately is like top 3. It's either 1, 2, or 3, and it's always battling with Columbus.
That's right.
And San Diego. Wow.
Yeah. Awesome.
Because what else are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do?
Oh
Well, I
no,
mean, yeah,
the Omaha
animals.
Zoo.
Yeah.
The Omaha Zoo, you have. It takes 2 days to see everything.
Oh, it's that big.
Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's-
It has-
that's 25% of the place.
I went to school with a kid who was on an exchange program. I believe it was from Zimbabwe, and he walked into the rainforest and started crying
He thought it was
because
home?
it was like he was back at the smell, the experience, the animals, everything. Now, I wasn't with him. He could have been full of shit. I wasn't with him,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's just secondhand.
They
knowledge.
have a complete rainforest that you spiral down to the lower level. They have those big Amazon catfish, but everything's just out kind of walking around. And then you can go over and they simulated the desert. They have this desert dome.
Oh, wow.
And then they have one of the largest shark tanks that you can walk in. As you're standing there, you could just be standing there and get a nudge on the shoulder, turn around, and it's a giraffe.
shit.
I mean, it's
really cool
intense.
stuff.
And you asked the question, why? Just
Yeah.
shit else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And they just give that land away for free. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, please, somebody do something. Oh, you're gonna put some animals here? I think they had a cheetah exhibit up there that you could watch the cheetah chase this thing down at full speed. That's at the Columbus Zoo, right? It's like
Yeah.
a football field area,
Yeah.
and they send something out.
Yeah, and we've had, I want to say, maybe the most times of having like, not polar bears, but panda bear, like that have give birth or
Yeah.
something in the country or something like that.
The most tiger maulings per capita, Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe Oklahoma is. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's in between there. Yeah.
But
All
there's rather wild.
We've got guys coming in. Mark Meyer, dropping it. I've got it. As a matter of fact, I just need to register for range day right now.
I was going to remind you.
Yeah, we have range day in 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm gonna register now. So you guys talk amongst yourselves so I don't forget this stuff.
Bang, bang!
It's under shop. Then you go to range day,
Yep.
and range day it is.
So while you're
I
really
gotta do it,
farting
I
around
forget.
with that, there's one other thing that Anthony has in common with all of us that are here, and that is the utter love for selected tobacco. Atabey, Byron, and Bandolero.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
It is you are probably, well, the owner, Nelson Alfonso, realizes that you are the biggest brand ambassador out there, because when I went to Cuba with him, he gave me these 3 special cigars and said, here, give them to Anthony. I'm like, well, gosh, I thought, well, you know, I'm not, you know, a little something for me. No, give them to Anthony. It's like, God damn, all right.
But did you get them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Man of
Started
character.
crying.
Well, he got 3 cigars.
Yes.
Who knows what they were?
I
Yes.
told him it was 3.
You know what? Yeah, I was gonna say,
It was a box of 30, but
5, yeah.
Yes, selected tobacco is
Range day done.
Amazing.
See how quick and easy it is to
Yeah.
register for range
Yes,
day?
I know. 2 days.
Thursday, 11 to 2. I got to make sure they can get the kids from school for
you
that.
go.
But regardless, I'm so excited to start throwing.
Well, we end at 2. I don't know what time school lets out. But
No, it's at noon. It's right. I could just show up late. Let's go ahead and continue, not drag somebody through my mud.
yeah.
Don't agree like that.
yeah.
So we are we're smoking something special tonight. We want to hear what you guys are smoking, and if you have any questions about cigars, humidification, anything, this was originally Cigar 101. So we are here to answer any questions that you guys have. But we are smoking the ICC Lancero. This cigar, as you can see off to the side here, you can't see it here, but we have a brand new wet 1792 barrel that these cigars are going to go into about, well, less than 1,000 now because we're smoking them. But these things have been
996.
at least 2 years post-roll. And it's just, this thing tastes like
buttery.
candy right now.
It's buttery.
It's super sweet. The tobacco is sweet and fresh.
Chris Ramey
But-
Thomas, what's happening?
So they're going to go in this whiskey barrel in about 6 weeks. They are going to absorb all of that 1792 whiskey, and it is going to be special.
I think we should short run some and fresh zap it and make some ready for the Derby.
We can do that.
Because
Because
it will
from
still
what
be
I
wet.
understand, the intensity of that barrel is going to be, it's wet.
Yeah.
So
We should,
it
we'll
should
do some for the
impact
Derby.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do some for the Derby.
That's going to work out well because that's 1792. That's a wheated bourbon. And wheated bourbons are a lot smoother than your regular bourbons, or what they call corn mash
Right.
bourbons.
You're a bourbon guy, too.
A little.
Yeah.
A little. Yeah. I tend to flock toward the wheated bourbons. I'm a larceny guy, 1792, Maker's Mark, Pappy,
Big
Wink,
roller,
wink.
baller.
wink, wink. And Weller, those are wheated bourbons. Yeah. And the difference basically, if you don't know, in summary, instead of the majority of the mash bill being corn, it's wheat. Or no, I'm sorry, I take that back. It's the second ingredient. First ingredient, corn. Second ingredient, instead of malted barley, will be wheat, and then barley and rye. There we go.
So what, do you like the Lone Elm? Because that's wheat.
You know what? I haven't had Lone Elm.
Oh, we
gotta
can change
fix
that.
Yeah.
We can fix
change
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
You
try
didn't have
that.
any of that honey barrel?
I did not.
Ooh. Yeah.
So I'm
What's
looking
up,
forward
Sean
to
Ratz?
it. I'm looking forward to it.
Sean Ratz, congrats. His warehouse
yeah,
is ready.
warehouse
They
is
started
built.
moving in.
Nice, got electricity. I saw he's putting up his posters.
He's got
and stuff.
nudie magazines up all over the place.
Yeah.
That was the one thing growing up in a machine shop from a very young age. You saw a lot of nudie magazines all over the place. I mean,
Yeah.
there was back by the dart area, so you'd go back to all the small hardware.
Yeah.
So you'd throw darts, but then you'd go up and get the darts and like take the time as you pulled away because it was just right on that wall. It's like, oh yeah, you're definitely a machine shop.
Oh, this
So
is
if you
beautiful.
need any nudie mags, I'll hook it up from Grandpa Mike there, just in case. Let me know. Yeah, Mark Myers saying you got to try Fiddlers out of Atlanta.
Fiddlers, I will.
And Chris Thomas is saying that he has a Lone Elm wheated barrel that he aged honey in.
Ooh,
Shout out, if I can. Can I shout out?
Sure.
Shout out to Middle West Spirits, distillery out of Columbus, Ohio. You can get them at your local Goody Goody. Columbus, Ohio on the map in bourbon and whiskey. That's
Really?
right. That's right. Middle West Spirits.
Middle West.
If
That's
we're
right.
going to talk some local distilleries, now I'm talking local here. I picked up a bottle of Lockhart. It's just standard bourbon. It's like $40 a bottle. I picked it up, just give it a shot. We drank it. Frank can attest to this. Frank and Marty were over. We drank basically the entire bottle. It drinks smooth like this tequila we're drinking, but it's just got a little bit of that. Obviously it's bourbon. Extremely drinkable. $40 a bottle.
All right.
Fantastic.
Lockhart's Barbecue got a bourbon.
You know what? Actually,
It's got barbecue sauce in it.
no, Mark. Oh yeah, it's that savory. Mark, tell me if I'm saying the name right. If it's Lockhart, if that's the name of the.
It was Lockhart, Texas.
When I think of Lockhart, I think of barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's hard not to.
We're in Texas.
Yeah.
I got a question I was thinking about today that I want to just float that out. We haven't asked this question. It's not part of the big three. But I primarily want to drive up some stories or a story to piggyback off of this question. Think about this. Oh, it's Lockwood.
Lockwood,
Yep,
okay.
that's it. Marty, you're right. The worst job you ever had.
Oh,
What is the absolute worst job you ever had?
Worst.
And give me an example or a story from that terrible, terrible job you had. Sam coming in.
I gotta think about that one.
Absolutely.
What about you?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I've worked since the age of 13, so I have quite a long history of jobs.
Hay baling. Chris Remy Thomas. He's a Midwesterner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hay baling and corn husking, that's no joke. That's real work. I usually avoided that.
We
I mean, I was
just sold
working
it
when
for
I told him I was 16 when I was 14 at a pizza place, and I acted like a 14-year-old in there, so I had nothing but fun. So I don't have anything.
Didn't you stick your face in the dough?
Yeah. Yeah. The dough would rise, and they'd say, "Go in and knead the dough." So I'd go in and knead the dough. But one of the guys said, "Hey, you know what? If you can really breathe that yeast coming out, you'll get stoned." So I just stuck my face in it. People were eating that pizza later.
Will you talk about why you got fired?
Well, that's not. I mean, what's interesting
didn't
was
know about that.
they fired me. Every day you got a pizza, small pizza, and the small pizza was supposed to weigh about 1.2, 1.5 pounds. They had it all. It was a science, right? So Valentino's Pizza in Nebraska. Well, the pizza girls weren't there to make the pizza, and so me and my buddy, we went and made our own. So after a while, we're wondering where our pizza's at. Manager calls us in his office, and they're sitting on the desk behind him. And he turns around, tastes his pizza, and he drops it on the counter, and shit like starts falling over. And he goes, "This is your last pizza." I said, "Why?" And he goes, "It weighs 3.5 pounds." I'm like, so what? I like cheese.
Man, be cool, man.
But here's what they taught me how to do is I had the great job of greasing, putting lard on the pizza pans, right? Mm-hmm. So you'd scoop in this handful of lard. I still, this is burned into my head. You scoop this stuff
told us
out,
this when we
these
were
metal
eating at this
pans,
restaurant.
right? And you splat it on the pan, and then you take your hairy forearm and you stick it on there, and you go like this and spin that stuff around, scoop off the excess, stick it on the next one. And that was the way we were supposed to do it.
Right.
Oh,
And you
God.
don't even think about it now. But
Oh, God.
There's, I mean,
This is a 14-year-old motocross riding.
I had to get the
sweaty,
job
dirty
because
guy.
my mom would say, "You can get anything you want for your motorcycle. You just got to pay for it." So I had to get this job because I wanted like tires and pistons and stuff. So I had to go get this job. I actually talked Valentino's into giving me a patch so I could make it look like they sponsored me.
No way.
They didn't sponsor me. They didn't even like my 3.5 pound pizza, the sons of bitches.
That pizza would have cost $40.
Yeah, no, that wasn't
Bad job.
that definitely wasn't my worst job. I would say my worst job, because I haven't had a lot of jobs. My worst job is probably at American Gramophone.
Working for Chip Davis.
Yeah, working for an artist. I ran a record label for 2.5 years and made a lot of his crazy ideas come true. So he was a real advocate of starting to drink wine at about noon, and we had cases of wine in the kitchen. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a call. "Hey, Dave, I got an idea. Shit. We need to sell chutney." What the hell? What's chutney? It's like jam. Well, why do we need to sell it? Because I had some tonight. It was unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
So why do we need to sell? What's that got to do with Christmas music, Chip? We just
Man, I'm Steve.
look. Just make it happen. So
What about the time you went? Okay, so this is my favorite story, and then we're gonna kick it over. But my favorite story is, you know which one I'm talking about. The wolf story.
oh god,
The wolf. That's
that's just the
just
eccentric.
picture, everyone knows Pops, right? He's like he's a patriarch of this. He's the steward. He can sell anything. He's gonna make sure you're taken care of. Everyone knows him as the top dog of our shared lives, right?
Yeah.
Rewind 15, 20 years to this moment. Just go ahead and
So now, Chip, Chip's probably watching. So how you doing, Chip? But Chip he's an eccentric artist, and when they say artists are out there, those guys look at Chip and go, "That dude's out there."
yeah, Andy Warhol's
He,
like this dude.
he has a pyramid. What do they call it when the deal that you look at the stars?
Scope.
telescope.
But the thing, that room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Observatory.
yeah.
But his was a pyramid. So the pyramid would open, and then he had like this $50,000 telescope, and he would just go sit there and do that shit. Well, so one day he calls me, he tells me, "Hey, you need to come to the studio at the house." So I go up to the house. He lives on 100 acres. It's a beautiful place. So I go up there, walk downstairs, and he's sitting at his keyboard, and he's got a wolf hat on. And when I say a wolf, it's a skinned wolf.
An actual.
But it's on his head. It's his headdress that the Omaha Indian tribe gave him. And it's just Chip behind the keyboard with the wolf deal on and his underwear. And I go, "Hey, Chip, how you doing?" He goes, "You can't see me."
Shit.
I go, "No.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You're right there." And he goes, "I'm invisible, Dave." I said, "No, Chip, you're not." He goes, "I'm fucking invisible." And I'm like, "Okay, you're invisible. Why are you invisible?" "When I wear this hat, you can't see me. This is from an Indian tribe. You can only hear me right now." I'm like, "Okay." So he tells me the whole story about this wolf headdress that the Omaha Indian tribe gave him that made him invisible.
He must have had some special tobacco.
He had something.
Yeah.
There's some mushrooms growing down on his property down there, but it was so that was just one of many Chipisms. But,
Yeah, that could
I mean,
be
it
one
was. I made the mistake and made some of his crazy ideas come to fruition. Because everybody else was like, "Oh shit, here he goes again." Just write it, pretend like you're writing it down. But I actually got some of them done, and so then he thought, "Oh, I got a guy that'll get this shit done. I got an idea. Let's do plum chutney." I still don't know what it is.
All right, so we do have we've got some worse jobs coming in. Unloading dog food from trailers and pelleting them into a warehouse is one. Frank Tomaszewski, I can't picture that guy on a roof, but he was removing shingles off roofs in the summer.
Yeah.
I did that for a summer.
Did you really?
In August of '75, so I'd have been about 14.
After you got fired from the pizza shop.
Yeah, probably. I might have went to work after that, but it was on these roofs down in North Omaha that are like this. And I got there after they had stripped the shingles, so now we were just putting all the black asphalt stuff up there.
Yeah.
102, 103 degrees, and you're standing on black sheeting.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
horrible.
I was a scoper, and I used to get on the roofs to, chalk up the roofs for hail damage and wind damage and stuff. It gets crazy hot up there.
Is that the worst job you've had?
No, that's not the worst. I think, one of the worst, being a lifeguard. I got hired as a lifeguard, and I couldn't swim. Y'all laughing.
So the victim is saving you.
Fucker said I got flat feet, because they say swimmers with flat feet, like they're good swimmers.
Swimmers with flat feet.
Yeah,
Not people with flat
I couldn't.
feet.
He just looked at my feet, and he said, "Hey,
Oh.
you want to be? You need to be hired as a lifeguard. At the pool, community pool. Chicks go. You looking."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, nobody's going to drown. I'm not. All right, I ain't got to worry about that.
First aid.
Somebody got into a little. Somebody jumped in, had a little bit of trouble. The only thing I can do is like direct. I'm telling people, hey, you right there, grab him, and then you grab him so they can keep holding on to each other and create a chain.
What is that, monkeys in a barrel?
Create a chain to help him out, and that was like what I was instructing them to do.
You're
like
a lifesaver director.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Director
I
of
was,
lifesaving.
Yeah.
So you got a
Control.
promotion out of it, yeah.
Nah.
Just he's thinking monkeys in a barrel. You just got okay, but like this. Okay, now jump in.
Yeah, I was just, and I was on the edge, on my knees, trying to like just instruct people. Look at me, go that way. Grab him, grab her. Hey, you grab her, and you grab him, and then y'all pull each other out. There you go.
Wow.
And it
That
worked.
sounds like it would be a Kevin Hart skit.
And it worked.
Very much so, yeah.
And it worked.
It worked. It worked. It damn
That's
worked.
funny.
No CPR, nothing?
No, I'm not doing CPR. No, I'm not doing none of that.
I'm not swimming.
I wasn't asked
You
to
ain't
do
gonna
that
make it,
either.
cuz.
Hey,
He's
man.
got foam coming out of his mouth. Oh, man, I don't think you can make it.
Hey, just let it go, brother. Just let it go.
Go to the light.
It'll be over soon.
I'll tell your mama. Everything's going to be good. I'll tell her you tried.
It's okay. It's okay. It'd be like in Saving Private Ryan. It's okay. It's okay. I want my mom.
Oh, man.
Adrian, what were you just
Dog
like,
food.
You
What
haven't
a
been.
fence line.
I'm thinking he was muling drugs for some coyotes or something.
No. I never did any of this hard labor stuff. My second business that I ever started was a dog poop business, picking up dog poop. Lived in San Antonio. It wasn't a horrible job. Obviously, when I started, I had to pick up the dog shit, right, to start the business until I hired people. But, yeah, I mean, what are those?
How good of a salesman do you got to be to get somebody to come to work for you and you're telling them that your job is going around picking up dog shit?
Yeah.
That could be the best sales job of the year.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, money walks.
I was number one in the number two business in San Antonio.
No.
That was my tagline, yeah.
Number one in the number two business.
Wow.
Picking up dog poop.
Yeah. Black Labs, the biggest, worst piles ever. And
Oh.
this lady had two. So, yeah, that was.
That's good consumer advice for those out in the dog market. Watch
Yeah.
out for Black
Yeah, if
Labs.
you want to get a Black Lab, yeah.
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 Get ready. Get your hands full.
Yeah. Or a bucket full at this point.
Yeah. Bubba just lost 4 pounds.
Oh shit!
No, there's a lot. They're hay baling coming in 115 degrees, removing shingles off the. Oh, God,
Man.
that just sucks. Thank you for the observatory while I was going brain dead.
Yeah.
Shearing Christmas trees on my dad's tree farm.
Seems like it'd be magical.
It would.
It'd smell good. Just
After the
Yeah.
first few, but yeah.
Then you get all that sticky
Yeah.
pine off of it and you can't get it off.
can't read magazines or
You
just
smell like an air freshener for
Well, you could just turn right into the taxi business and just you could be a taxi driver.
chicken. Apparently, Mark Meyer, which this explains the drain damage that he has from cleaning out chicken coops. Now, I've been near some chicken coops.
That's horrible.
Those stink.
Yeah.
I mean, they make pigs smell like friggin' perfume.
Yeah.
Chicken shit stinks.
No good.
Damn.
No. And that's all they do is just shit and lay eggs. That's all they do.
Yeah, that's actually it's.
I'm pretty
probably
sure
all
that's
they
all
do.
rats do because I've had a couple wander into my garage. They didn't quite make it out alive, but
Your garage still smells like there's a dead rat in there.
That's
There's
Yeah,
a distinct
it's-
dead rat smell.
I found it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I found it.
How long did it take you to find it?
Well, apparently it must not have. Its front legs might have still worked, or its back legs, because he was trying to push himself out the door, and he got himself wedged in some areas. But so his shit wasn't. Half of him was still working.
JD Mars coming in. His worst job was drug testing. Be a drug tester. Had some interesting tests conducted.
Oh, I bet.
Oh man.
Oh, could you imagine the lies that
Oh.
he hears? Maybe like a cop.
I went to a Snoop Dogg concert. I know I wouldn't pass a drug test. We went to Snoop Dogg on Saturday night, and Snoop and Ice, I think it was Cube. Yeah, it was Ice Cube.
Ice Cube.
And I wouldn't pass a drug test right now. It was. When did they make weed smell like a freaking air freshener? Weed doesn't smell like weed. It smells like cotton candy now. I don't know.
That's probably what strand it was. It's probably called cotton candy.
You've seen it at the show. I mean, they've been engineering this stuff. Last year we go to the show in January and there's Delta 8, which gets in front of regulators, keeps it in the gray zone.
Yeah.
This year we go, there's Delta 10, THO, THH, TCC. They're like all of these different hybrid new synthetic marijuanas, and there is all sorts of flavors. There's everything they can do with it.
Yeah, but they're not marketing to kids. That's good.
Oh, you're right. You can just buy the Peachos.
The Peachos.
Yeah, kids don't like Peachos.
No.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Like Delta 8 in like a peach shape or what?
Well,
No, the Peacho candy.
They take the Delta 8
They sell
concentrate.
those, but they're gummies.
Yeah, so they
But it
spray
looks exactly like the
s-
Peacho candy.
because it is, and we spoke with them. They buy the candy, and then they spray it with the Delta 8 compound. So you don't have candy that looks like it. You have candy that is it.
Shit.
Wow.
Okay. Did you know Mike Tyson's in the marijuana business now?
Yeah.
Right? He came out with gummies in the shape of an ear.
Oh my gosh.
That's brilliant.
Oh, I'd get down on that. That is
That's
too
brilliant.
I read a
awesome.
story this morning where he's not allowed to sell it in Colorado, which is a big market, right? Because it's a shape of a human body part. So Colorado.
Just make it you could just make it like a nugget, but it's actually an earlobe.
It doesn't. I mean, because it's Mike Tyson, it looks like an ear lobe or something.
I think he just took the lobe off
Yeah.
Evander, right?
Yeah.
No, it was like the main. Like
it was a cartilage
Yeah, it
up
was a
top?
cartilage up top. Yeah, but damn, if you think about it, it's a little hard up there
It
too.
is.
That's
I can
gnarly.
gnarly bit up there. Yeah.
With a mouthpiece in your mouth too.
Like,
His bite is probably just as bad as his punch.
would you rather?
Oh shit.
Would you rather get your ear bitten off by Mike Tyson or get the 1-2 uppercut, ribs uppercut from Mike Tyson?
I think I'd go for
I'm
the ear.
going ear. I gotta go ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I can bounce
Sit
back
that
from the
shit back
uppercut.
on, Yeah.
Yeah, the
Go
ear.
ahead and put in your answers. Would
The
you
ear
rather-
be quick.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're going for like an MRI, and the doctor's like, well, "Why is your liver up where your heart's at?"
I mean, that's
Oh, I took an uppercut from Mike Tyson.
and your chances of dying from falling back are much higher than just getting your little ear
I
nibbled
agree.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say get my ear bitten off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
his punch is. Oh
Devastating.
God, man.
Even now, I would still, even if that was the option, is get punched by him now in his 50s.
Yeah.
I'm still taking the ear getting bitten off. I mean, he still looks.
I concur. I'm with you. On
I
that.
wouldn't want to get hit by Sugar Ray Leonard, and he's 110 pounds.
I wouldn't want to get hit by Bud Crawford. I wouldn't. No.
Those guys-
None of
Sugar
these
Ray-
pro fighters do I want to
Sugar
get hit
Ray's punches. That would be so frustrating. Like that would piss me off because he's so fast. Like,
Yeah, you wouldn't even know. Why am I feeling pain?
Yeah,
but
you
you
like,
didn't see him actually.
what the fuck? Where'd it come from? Like, stop!
Have you guys watched the compilations of Canelo, of watching his defense?
Yeah.
Oh my God, if you want to watch frustration, watch Canelo's defense. Ever since he fought Floyd, he's learned defense. And there's a segment that's about 45 seconds in a fight, maybe about a year ago, where his head movement is so good that this time, I can't remember who he was fighting, but he's throwing punches, and it's like he's trying to miss by just, it's unbelievable. I mean, he is a centimeter away for 45 seconds throwing punches.
Yeah.
It is, and then the way he like boom boom sidesteps and
Yeah.
throws an uppercut on him.
Yeah.
If you haven't, just YouTube that Canelo defense.
Okay.
It will make you a Canelo Alvarez fan.
How pissed off would you be if you were really angry, though, like as angry as you've ever been before, and you get into a fight and you want to knock the shit out of somebody, but you can't hit them?
Yeah. They just bob and weave.
How
everything.
frustrating would that shit make
Yeah.
you?
Just
Well, I take 3 swings, I'd be exhausted.
yeah, that's the thing. Because then you're starting to get worked up more and more and more and more, and now you're just using energy.
Yeah.
That's as good as shots.
And you just keep missing.
No.
Watch this. If you just
I'll watch
this,
that.
this
I'll watch
cut-
that.
Oh, it is some of the most impressive boxing defense you'll ever see. Yeah. Let's hop into question 1, shall we?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we'll come back because I finally remembered my worst job.
Oh no, please.
What is it?
When I turned 21, I went into the El Paso Police Academy.
Thank you, sir.
Lasted 2 months because I hated them just fucking yelling in my ear, fucking run, push-ups and all the physical shit. And I was physically fit and I loved working out, but it was the aspect of people fucking yelling in my ear. And that's when I learned there's no way I could be military, and big respect to those guys because, yeah, that's when I learned I better pick a job where I can be my own boss. People telling me what to do.
Yeah.
That's not going to
At a high volume.
yeah.
In your face.
Yes, yeah.
A little bit of spit get on your
God,
face
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, and you had to take it. That was your job, and it was mine for a few months until I said, you know what, I'm out.
All this for 40 grand. All this for 40 grand a year.
If-
See ya.
if-
Nah,
yeah,
I'll
I'm gonna go
pass.
pick up dog shit with my mouth.
I'd rather. Yeah.
Fighting the cartel for 40 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
was early '90s, so it was. I think starting pay was below that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in the 20s. I think
Whoa.
26,000
Yep.
was my.
As the
Not
cartel
gonna do it.
really started ramping up in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of cartel, that's your Halloween costume this year, Boaz from Queen of the South. If you watch Queen of the South,
Yeah.
look up the character Boaz.
Yeah. Had to gain some weight, but yeah.
Right here.
Was that the other dude? Was that her?
No, not Ponte. That's Ponte, the
Okay.
bigger guy.
Oh, so
that's
me,
Ponte.
Me and Lee.
Yes,
Lee could be the other
he
guy.
could be Ponte. you could be Boaz. Yes.
Love it. Kathleen could
Halloween
be
costume right there. Get you a
She could be,
ponytail. Get you a
man,
nice big hat. Get you a nice big old Texas belt. Get you some boots.
He
with,
has a
I
Desert
saw that
Eagle.
shit, dude.
with
Yeah.
some spurs, and he
does.
got the Desert Eagle. Yes.
No, Lee does.
Oh, Lee
got the
does.
Desert
He
Eagle.
does.
You remember he shot himself?
Holy shit.
You remember the
was
first
shrapnel.
shot? Yeah, it was shrapnel.
Yeah.
But he was shooting a 50 cal Desert
Yeah.
Eagle from 10 meters on steel targets, and literally the first shot anyone shot,
Yeah.
bing, ow, I'm hit. Oh, and all of a sudden he lifts up his shirt, it's just bleeding.
His brand new shirt. He's all pissed off. Fucking brand new shirt.
Yeah, he's wearing Under Armour like he's
Yeah. Yeah.
making JV. He's wearing Under Armour. Yeah.
First question, Pops.
First question. So there's 3 questions that identify the character of the person that you are, and this is when we say this is a judgment-free zone. At this point in time,
This segment
we're
is
going to
not.
judge the shit out of you. All right. So, question number 1: Sasquatch. Does he exist or not?
Not.
On a
Pretty
scale of 1 to
confident
10.
there. Scale of 1 to 10.
Scale of 110 what?
10,
How sure am I?
10,
10
you're
is
gonna.
McClurkin. 1 is Barunda.
Yeah.
McClurkin said he's seen him.
Had rocks
And-
thrown at him.
And he could not believe that.
Okay, so you're a 0. Are you a 0?
I'm a 0. I'm a 0.
So do this. Sit down and have a glass or a bottle of tequila with McClurkin
Absinthe.
and have him tell you about his Sasquatch hunting.
Have you not
And
had
you're
a discussion
and it will
I've never had that
it will tick up and you'll be at least right down the middle.
No.
Just
No,
from-
he'll go to a
Just
2.
because the dude is so honest. He's so I mean, I trust everything that comes out of this dude's mouth. And he believes it like you don't believe it.
I'd have to sit down with him. I'd have to look into his eyes.
He's got
Yep. You should.
Yeah.
when you listen to the recordings and the stuff and you see where
Recordings.
He's got
He has
recordings.
recordings.
the howlings and shit.
No videos.
Howlings.
No video.
Pictures.
No bodies.
Oh,
But-
but he had feces
He has a bag of shit.
in his freezer.
But he said
Well, you can get that
one
DNA
time-
tested like now. You don't need to sit on that. Like,
So
you
he
get
took
that DNA
a
tested.
cop. Was it a cop or a fireman? I think it was a fireman.
Hang
But
on.
they have this little like cabin and then it has this corrugated steel carport.
Yeah.
And they're apparently notorious for throwing rocks that like humans can't throw. And this dude was putting stuff away in the truck, and a rock came flying in and landed on top of that corrugated deal, and that dude was in the house, ready to go.
See, even in that story, I'm like, that's BS, right? Because you said these things can throw very well, right?
Well, I don't know if they're, what their curveball's like,
Allegedly.
In that case, they would have threw it and it would have hit him.
Oh, you're saying like accuracy?
Yes,
Yeah,
it would have hit him.
I don't know. I mean,
I got to sit down with him.
Dak throws behind everybody, and they're 10 yards away.
I want to sit down. I want to sit down
And he
with
gets
him.
paid $160 million to throw.
I want to sit down with him and
Do it.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'm open to that.
Yeah.
But he is like an animal biologist, so he just treats it as though they're monkeys. He just says he goes on a monkey hunt.
Because Sasquatch is like don't they say like he's like 8 feet tall?
They
some
say
shit
7.
like that.
They're pretty consistent with the 7.
Mm-hmm.
But Jonathan Scott's pretty close to 7.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get hit by a rock by him.
That's a good point.
No.
So though we are looking for new
I take
big
that challenge.
3. So if you have a question, drop it in the comments, please, because we want to.
I had one the other day that was a stellar number 4. I just don't remember.
I
it.
remember Saturday at the shop you brought it up, and I forgot what it was.
We'll get to it.
Let's do
We'll
it.
remember it.
Let's go.
All right, that's good. All right, so that's
So I'm a
2,
zero.
Let's
I'm a
just
zero.
get to 2. Let's get to 2,
yeah.
which may spawn and cannibalize number 3 on discussion. But I say we get to.
Yeah,
I
but
say we get to
I know
2.
where we got to go with 2 though.
Yeah, let's go 2.
Because I know where we're going to be at on 3. So number 2, and this will spread out a little bit as you'll see, but the question is, ghosts, do they exist or not?
Not.
Damn.
Spirits.
Spirits, they do exist.
Do you have an experience?
No.
Interesting.
We've had some interesting experiences though. Rashad's was really interesting.
Which was his?
His was the
His
one
dad?
where his buddy got killed on that street when he grew up, and him and his buddies were walking down the street, and all the street lights were out, and as they walked under each one, the light turned on, and then when they walked to the next one, it shut off, and then the next one turned on. As they walked down the street.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Spirit wise.
Yeah, spirit wise, not ghost wise. I think I'm with you guys.
Now-
on the ghost one, I'm out on that.
Now, am I wrong with thinking like, okay, when you walk under a light, could there be a motion sensor?
he explained
So where-
the neighborhood
yeah,
where
okay,
he was
so-
from.
Yeah.
where Rashad comes from,
Okay.
and he was like 13 or 14.
Okay.
So I don't know
All that, man.
that motion sensors were real popular
In the hood
back
in
in the day in the hood in Houston.
In the
90s.
90s.
In the 90s.
H-Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm firmly with you guys. When it comes to ghosts, I'm out. I mean, I could easily take my camera and I could manufacture all sorts of stuff. All the stuff they're doing on Ghost Hunters, I could do that in post, no problem.
Yeah.
There's no issues. There's fishing line. There's all this stuff of how we could move things without a problem. And then all we got to do is just get that. When you get your senses heightened up and you're amped up, boom! All of a sudden, you're there. You're in a spooky place. I've been in my kitchen when the lights are off. I hear Elias crying. I go out into the kitchen, and I just watched his little head walk on the other side of the island. And I was like, oh my God, that's fucking scary. I know what that is, and it still was spooked me out. So if you just pull something or you have post-production, you can do all that stuff.
I think
But spirits, I'm with you as well.
I think ghosts come from the concept of a ghost comes from the spirit. Ghosts are, I think, in movies and
it's the spirit,
entertainment.
but it manifests.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's where I'm coming from with that. So yeah, no ghosts, but spirits, absolutely.
I see these guys with these boxes on these shows that's like a real high frequency, and it's they'll ask a question, and then this word will come out, and I'm like, how did they program that to decode whatever frequency it goes to? So if a ghost frequency comes in at 86 decibels, or whatever the sine wave is, or whatever frequency, it's saying mom.
Yeah.
You know, how the hell do they know? Where'd they get that database
I mean,
at?
that technology could have happened in the 50s. Just do white noise and then throw in mom at
Yeah.
2 minutes in.
Yeah.
I could do that. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff seems like bullshit. But it is, admittedly, I will still watch Ghost Hunters. I still can be entertained by that show.
Entertainment.
I
There
can
we
still
go.
like, oh yeah, it's fun. It's fun to let your imagination go wild and be a kid and just, oh yeah, that's it. I mean, Clancy and I would watch that all the time. It's a fun show, and I could still be entertained. By
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's and you can put that together. 3 is going to take us to.
But I was afraid of the movie Ghost, though. When I first watched it, that kind of messed me up. The movie Ghost.
The movie Ghost.
Yes.
It got dark in the movie
Yeah.
Ghost, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
And you
watch
know,
it.
Whoopi Goldberg, you know, she's not the most attractive looking woman. You know, that she spooked me out a little
Especially
bit.
in her age. I mean, kind of looking like Predator over there.
He does now.
Yeah.
Let's move on to number 3, shall we?
Anthony Nichols in the house. Jay Goody is in the house. JD is in the house. Of course, Larry Adams. Larry Adams, he's checking out because of tax season, so he left early.
Yeah.
'Cause now tax season obviously is coming to the end. That's something you know a little bit about, but
A little bit.
But apparently he goes to bed when his wife does for tax season because she's an accountant.
I thought he was talking about the worst jobs.
No, well,
Yeah, being an accountant. That's a good
In
point.
tax season, maybe, yeah.
Yep. Question number 3. This can also be into multiple, but we're just going to toss out the OG and then take it from there. Aliens. Do they exist? Or are they fable?
What are you looking at me for?
Oh, he said to the OG. I'm not.
No, that's an OG
yeah,
question.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
an OG
okay.
question.
Okay. Aliens, do they exist?
I'm not talking about like from El Paso.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
those exist.
Yeah.
Seen them.
Those exist. I'm married to one of them.
Yeah.
She has an alien number. Did you know
Well,
that?
at least
You know
she's got-
LA has an alien number?
At least she's got a number.
That's what they actually call it. On the green card, she has an alien number. So I call her an alien. She didn't get the joke quite as well as I did.
I'm going to go with no. Do they exist? No.
Nowhere in the universe.
Nowhere in the universe.
So we're the only planet out of all of those planets and stars and solar systems. We're the only one.
I think we have the same mindset.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Why do you
Yeah.
say that?
As long as Earth has been around, why haven't they come hang out at a cigar lounge, smoke a cigar with us?
Oh, we've met some.
Oh
no,
yeah.
they've been
I'll,
here.
I'll show you Bigfoot and aliens.
Yeah.
Throw that Lagolera shirt on and come hang out for a couple weeks. So, are you saying Earth or civilization? Because that's 13 billion years to 10,000 years. Maybe civilization's older, but thousands of years. And then past the 1800s of our civilization as we know it. I mean, we're talking a couple of hundred years past the Industrial Revolution of technological development, and if we even hone it into that point, we're talking 60 years or fewer of even space exploration.
I'm still going to say no. I don't believe aliens exist.
Now, I have a theory. So Earth's been around for what?
13.8 billion, I think, is what they
Billion
say.
years. Billions and billions of years. But humans really have accelerated over the last, let's say, 100,000 years. So over all these billions, how come Now, maybe it's just because that's all they found or whatever the case may be, but that's why I believe that something has happened in space that had the organisms, that stuff entered the Earth's atmosphere, and then that was kind of the fertilizer that started it. Not
So
that
are
it
you
was
saying
saying it was intentional.
Like genetic engineering?
No. I'm just saying
Because that is a
there had to be
pretty- that is a
organisms, there had to be something that came through and, in a sense, fertilized the planet to create these organisms and stuff that we see now. Because we'd be awful advanced if we were 500 million years old. On
look-
the 18, I'd call it 13.5 billion if just 500 million years. So what if there
Yeah.
wasn't? What if there was a civilization that's been going for 100,000 years or 1,000,000 years? Think about that. I was just watching this deal on the Wright brothers. They were showing the Wright brothers' first flight, how these guys designed the plane and stuff. And that was in the early 1900s. And now look at what you can do in an airplane.
Yeah.
And these guys started out with, a couple pieces of wood and a bicycle crank. And in less than 100 years. And you think about, where we're at video technology and computer technology wise, when you didn't have really TVs in the 40s. You were listening to a radio. So to me, it is, everything accelerates so fast in technology. We used to do, when I was at Panasonic, we would identify like what happened from this point to this point over a 10-year period, and you watch 8-inch floppy disks turn into a little postcard that had an astronomical amount of,
Right.
or a
32
postage stamp
megabytes.
that you can stick inside your pocket and it can get wet. But it used to be on, 8-inch floppy disks was the story.
That's where I think I'm at. And if you've driven a Tesla, you look at the difference between a 1988 Porsche 928 to a new Tesla. I mean, we're taking that to inside of 40 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? And you step on the throttle of a Tesla with 9 people in it, you can do 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds with no sound. Boy, it's crazy to think what happens if we don't blow ourselves up 500 years from now. And then you think, okay, well, we're one planet as a part of one star. And what do they say? And what one star? They say there are more stars in our galaxy than perhaps its universe than there are grains of sand on the Earth. So you think of just the probability from I think it's called the Fermi paradox. Just the probability says that.
Well,
there
they
has
said
to be something.
in our solar system, there's potentially 16 million planets that are like Earth. What if one of those things got 1 million years under their belt?
Well, and it doesn't have to be a human, like it doesn't have to
Right.
be bipedal deal. It just has to be life, right? Maybe intelligent life of some form.
But
a dog is
everything
Yeah.
to me, everything starts and stops with energy.
Absolutely.
Obviously, because I'm in the energy business, but I think everything starts and stops with energy. What has made a Tesla possible has been battery technology. And that was always the thing that Panasonic struggled with. The first camcorders, you carried the battery with you in a separate pack. And it hung over your shoulder, and it weighed like 6 pounds, and then you carried the camera as a separate device. And now it's, these little tiny batteries with considerably more time. You think about somebody was showing me one of these cell phones that was getting like 36 hours, some ridiculous amount of time. So once they get, you couldn't have done a Tesla 20 years ago because the battery would have had to been hauled in a trailer behind you. But now all of a sudden, what happens when the Tesla battery can fit in your glove box?
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately where it's going. Because look at
Yeah.
microprocessors, look at storage.
Yeah.
Look at
Storage
quantum
has gone
computers.
from
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're starting to look at these things. Sam is actually a quantum, I don't know if he's quantum physicist or what he practices quantum science at some level. He says there are over 1 trillion galaxies with billions of stars in each. Most have multiple exoplanets and they have moons. The moon, of course, acting as protection against external threats and making it as life as possible. It's an interesting
So
concept.
there could let's say there are aliens up or let's say there's a UFO that's hanging out in the atmosphere, and they're watching Elon Musk go and back down, and they're going, look at this asshole. Oh, look at the training wheels. That's cute. Yeah. Here, get on this, 1,000 horsepower motorcycle. Let's see how you do.
Yeah.
And they're probably just looking at it like,
The fuck are they doing?
yeah, yeah.
But then it comes to the point of, have aliens visited? And that's where it comes to the question is, why do we think we're so important that someone would want to visit us? That's the question. Is why would somebody traverse galaxies to get to us to see?
Personally, I think the driver is, what if it requires resources? What if they require cadmium or platinum, or they need something that they need to strip from someplace else because they just don't have it?
Or if they exist, it could be, it's like, you lived in your neighborhood for so many generations. Your great-grandparents, your grandparents, your parents, you were raised in this neighborhood, and you see some new people coming up your street, but they don't come all the way down the street and then they turn. It could be something like that, to where it intrigues you to say, okay, well, what's going on over there? What are they doing? Because we keep putting shit up there and coming back, like you said, going up, coming down, spaceships, all kind of shit, satellites, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. They could be looking like, what the hell? What's up? Wait a minute.
They're probably looking at all those satellites flying around Earth. They're going, they got a bunch of 8-track players. We got them flying around, but they're only this big.
Yes, Mark Meyer, fire question for it. But it is interesting because NASA, I believe, this week just unveiled the fact that we have officially sent some sort of, not a rover, but they have sent a craft to the sun to gather magnetic particles to ultimately make its way back. I don't know if that's, I could be incorrect there, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was reading.
To the sun?
To the sun. Now, you would think. You'd think if it's an issue with it burning up into the atmosphere of Earth even, we don't have the technology to take it to the sun.
Here, the one thing I do hope is that there is somebody within the government that believes it. Because I sure would like to know if, Terminator decides to come in, we've at least got something to shoot back at him with.
I agree.
I don't think a 1911 is going to get that done.
I think there was a percentage of voters of Trump that thought that he was going to be the one that told the secrets. What happened with JFK? Are there aliens? And so I think there was a percentage of people that thought that the last president was going to crack that open, but nothing came there. Mark Meyer, I'm not going to ask that question because my dad is sitting here.
I don't think that would ever happen. The secrets will never be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
Yeah. Body count's too tall.
That's where the term conspiracy theory comes from.
If they're secrets.
But conspiracy theories they're fun for people, right? And especially in a time now that people don't trust the system.
Right.
Now I think you're more probably apt to believe in conspiracy theories more than ever. I could be.
Yeah, as it relates to aliens, I still think Bill Gates and Einstein and Leonardo and Elon Musk, those guys, they're plants. Because they need something to keep moving the ball forward technology-wise. So I think they're plants.
Yeah.
I think they seeded the population. That's what I think. I've met some of the guys that they've seeded the population with that they could have them back.
Yeah, those guys you just named, those are geniuses, man.
Yeah. Light years ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Light years. So how did they get so smart?
I think it takes, in my opinion, a lot of meditation. Meditation of self and abilities and understanding what you can do. Not what you can't do. That was never, I believe that was, things that they could not do was never in their vocabulary.
Yeah.
And that's what goes back to pushing the limits. how far can we go? What else can I do? And actually doing those things. I think that makes it a lot difficult for most folks to actually execute on a lot of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Because there's some slight hint of doubt in there.
Well, how much of advancement has been slowed because why should I develop this technology if there's no way we can monetize it?
Yeah, it's like that movie.
How many things are held back because somebody goes, "Yeah, it's a great idea, but who's going to afford a $500,000 trip to the moon?" So how much that's held back? But if you have a civilization where they're like, "No, this is our mission. Our mission is this. We're going to use our resources. We're all going to come to." I mean, somebody built those goddamn pyramids. That must have been the finest salesman in the history of ever. I need you to carry that 4-ton boulder up there. and somebody said, "Okay, I'll do it." There is construction around the world that makes you wonder. When, like I was telling you guys last week about this wall that's around this, and I'm going to find it for you guys. But there's boulders on there now that they've sent like engineering geniuses to look at this, and they're saying with today's equipment we couldn't do that. So how do they do it in a manual analog world?
Yeah,
that's stacking
the pyramid
50-ton rocks. How do you get them to stack on top of each other?
How do you cut them?
Yeah, how do you cut them so exact?
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
So did the aliens make the pyramids?
No.
Luciano coming in. Luciano.
There we go.
Luciano.
There we go.
This might be one you might want to tune out.
There we go. No, I think
we have a celebrity.
I'm glad he tuned in. Luciano, hello, sir. I'm glad he tuned in.
We Luciano, have a celebrity in the house.
Did aliens make the pyramids? Because I don't think it's man.
You don't think it's man?
No.
What do you think man's maximum capability is?
I don't think it's man's capability to take generations. Let's look at the Roman emperors, right? The Roman emperors, after Julius Caesar, they were only about 5 emperors past Julius Caesar before they started turning on themselves, because humanity is very self-interested. They're very selfish. So who's to think that they could get one person to have a shared vision for thousands of years to get slaves? I mean, that's the only way they could have done it. To do feats of impossibility, aside from maybe a higher purpose of a god or whatever. But you get through, our God looks much different than the God did 2,000 years ago. And if we're talking 2,000 years to do the pyramids, who's to say someone could actually rule for hundreds of generations in the same North Star? That's where I think.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. There's too many things.
Yeah. What is the limitation of humanity? The pyramids. Josh, I'm with you. Yeah.
It can be done.
JD says expendable labor. I'll tell you what. Could you take 300 guys from the NFL, hand them all rope, throw it over one of these 4-ton blocks, and could they move it?
Hundreds of miles.
Yeah, could they? Could you move it 10 feet? That's what I want to know.
Luciano came in with a good.
What did he say? I'm curious as to what Luciano says.
Luciano says, I think the pyramids were built by men. The knowledge, technology came from the masters that knew how to polish the rocks into squares. But Luciano, how did they lift them 400 feet tall? Imagine that. They got to get them up. Without hydraulics, without modern machinery.
So then
maybe ... maybe the aliens brought the That's it. I'm with you 100%.
That's it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like Luciano making cigars, he is the true master.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Luciano, thank you, sir.
Yeah. If you
Love you, man.
If you want to see the limit of humans, just watch Luciano blend a cigar. That's the maximum.
When he's sitting here with a table of tobacco, that's where the alien comes out in him. Because that dude is an alien when it comes to blending tobacco.
I've never seen someone so infectious to be around.
So in essence, could it be that the term alien could mean something different than what we think it means?
Well, I just think it's interesting when they're going back and deciphering all of these hieroglyphics, and everybody's looking at the sky. Everybody's looking at these chariots in the sky. Everybody's working from their perception of what that is. But how are people that are thousands of miles away from each other, China and Africa and the deserts and all these things, how are they all seeing these same, all of their hieroglyphs all point towards the sky? What is that? It's the sun god, it's this, it's that, everything is up. And I don't know.
I would point you to a little documentary they created. It's got Bruce Willis in it. It's called The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
True story.
True story.
Yeah.
True story. Multipass. That's how they got it up.
Multipass.
Multipasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should be a movie next
If you have a
week.
technology that's so good that you can just toss around these multi-ton blocks, why would you ever get rid of it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and why wouldn't you make copies of it? Because if it burned down in the Library of Alexandria, why wouldn't you just make a copy? Why would you have it in one place?
yeah, if you figure out that technology, you should have figured out copying machines a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least have somebody going, okay, Mr. Leonardo, here's the sheet with everything on it. Why don't you make me a copy of that before we put that one away?
Yeah, just in case somebody burns it down.
Could it be the thinking and the teaching was a lot different then? From my understanding, or what my opinion is that back then, back then, there was more memorization. Of course, because it wasn't. I don't think like you said, hieroglyphs was what they had to kind of write, if you will, in our terms. But in essence, again, it's all in the mind. So it's sharing that information from person to person. Mm-hmm. Some may even call it from mouth to ear.
Yeah,
and Luciano, please chime in, sir.
He said the concepts of balance, mathematics, etc. It all existed before.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a higher sense of intelligence.
Yeah.
That we've dumbed
people
down.
got dumber over the years.
Yes, yes. That's what I was about to say.
Another documentary,
yes.
Idiocracy.
So you got everybody has. It's just intelligence has been on a downward spiral.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything's all intelligence.
With the exception of a certain few. Boy. And then again, the mind is a powerful thing. The mind creates whatever it wants. That's why we have ghosts, aliens, as what we think that they are because of what was shown to us or told to us.
Yeah.
Your mind creates these things. It can create whatever you want it to be.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Still think they're aliens, though. It's gotta be, right?
Now,
what do you think they look like?
That's a better question.
I have a theory that all redheads are aliens.
Just waiting.
They're just that's how, like, when they come down and they're gonna pick the ones they're gonna take. The redheads.
I think of Men in Black. Y'all remember the movie Men in Black?
Oh yeah, they're all the different
how these
types.
aliens come down, like what was that? That freaking roach, the big ass roach, and he came in and got into a little guy, like a man, and he was trying to make sure he fit. Water, sugar.
Sugar water.
But he walked around, and everybody thought he was just a regular guy.
He wasn't building no pyramids.
But you see, once he got out of that body, out of that human body, he was giant.
Yep.
He could have moved some fucking big ass boulders and
could have
pyramids and shit.
Now,
and then on the opposite end of that movie, remember when the It was a little person that was in a big body. Yeah. He said Orion's belt is on the neck of something, and it was a small little ball that was millions of galaxies and stars inside of it.
The cat's thing. Yeah.
Yes, inside the cat's little thing.
You know what? That's a good point. JD Mars coming in, wishing that he had right now that little device where he could flash everybody in the crowd and just say, "You saw nothing."
Yeah, man, I have a quote out right now in China trying to get a price on one of those things. You got to buy them right. But I just would love to. Now, if they ever figure out a way to unlock the human brain, that's a different thing. I watched this thing on autistic artist, and these guys that they can't really function, but there's parts of their brain where they can. There was a guy that sat down at the piano. He kind of had that, he just had that Stevie Wonder look to him, just kind of like blind but not blind.
Yeah.
Very funny.
They would play this concerto one time, and then he would just play it.
Yeah.
So then they're just saying there's parts of their brain that are unlocked. What if they figure out how to unlock it? Because we may be just dabbling with like a thimble size of this shit, but the real computing power is going on, and that's where there's somebody's going to go, oh yeah, you want to move that 10-ton brick? Yeah, I got it.
Got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
Bam.
Well, give me half a dozen marbles, and I'll show you how we get this
Then
done.
proof's in the pudding. And just look at it from Luciano. It's 4 a.m. in Germany. He can't sleep. He suffers from a condition called synesthesia. And you can see it in his blends that he has a different interaction with the world than other blenders have.
Yeah.
Because he has unlocked, not that he's wanted to unlock it, but he's been able to harness a disability into unlocking a blending technique and method that is better than the rest.
And now that you say that, after hearing Mr. Luciano speak, I'd like to go on record and say that is not a disability. And he even says it himself. Sir, I strongly believe that is not a disability. He has successfully unlocked a higher sense of consciousness within himself to where it makes him the genius that he is. And yes, sir, I'm calling you a genius. Yes. I don't care
what
what
is
else
it? Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder and a lot of the guys that had one thing shut off and everything else, the volume turned up.
Yes.
You know what? You want to impress me? Take the wheel.
Yes.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. I like to go on record and say that is not a disability. I think that is a positive characteristic in understanding oneself.
What I would say to play devil's advocate on that is we get to benefit from it.
Yes,
so
sir.
we don't see it. We see it as a blessing we wish we had. But it's also 4 o'clock in the morning in Germany, and he can't sleep because of it. So
yeah, he just said a lot of pain and suffering, brother.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely there, but he has been able to. I think you're right.
That is a challenge.
Yep,
that is a challenge. I'm still I'm thinking more on the positive side of this. Seeing the good of it. Yes, he says pain and suffering, and again, I can't relate because I'm not him. I don't know what really that is, but I would say I think that's still a positive thing. Again, he can still function just like everyone else, but he's just at, I think, a different level. You mentioned earlier energy. It's a different frequency. He's at a different frequency, and eventually he will. I believe, and it's just I believe that he will eventually look at it not as pain and suffering.
Mm-hmm. Well, what he's doing, and for those of you guys that are out here, Luciano owns Ace Prime. He is an incredible farmer. He is the best blender that I've ever had the privilege to sit and experience his cigars. Fiat Lux, the Pichardo family Reserva. He's doing the Crown Heads Mil Diaz. He's doing a number of different cigars, but they are different. Because
you feel the difference.
You feel and taste the difference. And if you're not smoking his stuff, go on our website and buy some of it, because it is, no matter where you're at in your cigar journey, when you taste that cigar, the light will go off and go, this is the way they're supposed to taste.
No, the light will come on. The light will not go off. The light will come on.
Well, and did I say go off?
You said go off.
Oh, no, I meant on. Yeah.
The light will come on. It will be, you know, when you got that aha moment, bing, the light comes on. This is it.
I want to do this.
This is it.
I want to smoke these cigars.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't work here, so I can say that shit, and y'all can believe me because I don't work here. Pichardo, Luciano, Mil Diaz, Crown Heads, whatever has Luciano's name attached to it, and Sir, yes, whatever it sounds like, whatever it does, those cigars are life-changing, and they will take you to another level because of what went into them will come into you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think about the great chefs of the world, they're able to taste each individual ingredient and know how those will work together. I'm still, just as somebody that was really not a good artist, but to understand when you start to paint, when there are people that can see the different shades of color and know how to work with those, these people that do realistic drawings, that the drawings look like photographs, I don't know how they do that. Mm-hmm. They're accessing parts of their brain that I just, and maybe it is a handicap to them, but the result is benefits others.
I've thought about this because we look at people who have certain disabilities, and to me, I believe that is truly an advantage for the people who have the will, who are strong enough, and the character who are strong enough to do that. And I say that because the best man at my wedding he was born without his left hand. He's kind of got a small appendage, but he was born without his left hand. And I remember talking to him about it. I said, what a blessing that is, because you know your weakness now. The rest of us basically take our weaknesses and just stick them as far deep as we can, and we run away from them. And they haunt us forever until we die. But having a weakness that you know, that you can address and you can overcome, in my opinion, is a massive advantage if you can overcome that. It's like, and I think it was Steve Morrison who said, fear is nothing once you've accepted it, something to that degree. It's like once you experience your greatest fear is nothing at all. And I think it translates to a guy like Luciano. A disability, once you accept it, experience it, and overcome it.
You see it if you just stood at the exit of a roller coaster and you watched people get on the roller coaster utterly scared to death, and when they get off they go, let's do it again.
Yeah.
It's
Doing dragons.
Yeah. It's just there is that. I mean, it's, and you kind of see it and you feel it in some really good military movies when the newbies are coming into camp and the guys that have seen the shit now 3 or 4 times, they're just kind of like, what's up, go over there, get this, and the other guys are looking around like, oh my god, because they haven't had it yet.
Yeah.
And these guys are just like, what you're about to see is true. This isn't fun.
Yeah.
But there's a different level of confidence that comes across when somebody has had the experience. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think it's at least you got to be open-minded enough in order to, I think, to help everything move forward. Because if you're not moving forward, you're dying.
Absolutely, I agree. Sorry, I'm in your way.
No, you're good. You're good.
Great tequila, man.
I think that's. I think we.
Yeah, we can't think of the fourth.
Was there a fourth one?
There's a fourth.
I'm ready to go.
Well, there's a simple fourth one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I think we could go to the fourth that we explored with Daniel Himmel.
Which was?
I think that's a better fourth.
I wasn't here for that.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, so we have a fourth.
Do it.
What is it?
What's your spirit animal?
What do you mean?
What animal connects with
We
your
want to
inner-
know from you guys too.
with your inner
What is your
person?
spirit animal?
What is what is the animal that tells your story? I was told mine by Daniel Himmel, who was a guest, and I wouldn't have ever picked it out, but I was humbled by it. That was pretty cool, and I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that. Pops, yours is
An American bald eagle.
Makes sense.
Just, you get a different view of things.
mm-hmm.
Would you? My friend John Vaughn gave me this great analogy, which was, would you rather be a chicken or an eagle? The chicken is seeing all the shit that's right in front of them, and the eagle, you're flying over the top and you're picking your spot. So to me, it's, life is just you get up above it all and you look for the opportunities and you go get it. So that's my spirit animal.
That's a good one.
I think
man.
it's a good one.
It's really good.
Damn.
Yeah.
So Daniel Himmel had bestowed mine to me, and what he said was mine was a stag, and the stag of the famous painting called the Monarch Stag, and it's this massive. I don't know if it's an elk or what it is, but it's a big stag that is not a predator, but it is something that if you enter the room, the presence is felt and respected by those who are in the room, and there's a certain presence to it, but you don't feel as though you are in danger. But if you are a hunter, you realize, don't fuck with it. So that was the animal that I've actually thought about after. I thought, that's who I achieved to be. I want to be someone. If I walk into a room, I can make it a better place. I want you to feel like you're welcome here. You're respected. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be a predator, but if on the back heel, I'll be just
Okay.
Yeah.
That fits well. I don't know.
His is probably one of them coyotes that can swim across the border. I don't know. They swim across the river or something.
You know what a coyote is, right? Do you know what a coyote is?
What?
A coyote?
Are you speaking of the animal or the person? No, I don't know.
So so you guys have had plenty of time to think about this. What is your guys' spirit animal?
No, that's not enough time.
At this time, I couldn't even think of animals.
No, you're not
Spirit animal.
Nothing that swims for you, for sure. No type of fish.
I don't know. For some odd reason, the first thing that came to my mind is a snake.
Really?
Disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
That has a negative connotation.
I disagree with that.
Most would say that.
Yeah.
Share with me your
I want
thought.
you to keep going with it, because
So
JD Mars is a sperm whale.
I don't know. So let's think about the snake, right? It's smooth, it's silk. It's real smooth. It's real cool. It just moves and just goes.
And
about
even if
its
you're not
business.
poisonous, people are still scared of you.
Hey, there you go.
That's a good point.
You got some that have a poisonous bite. You have some that has a lethal construction.
Yeah.
You have some small, some freaking large.
Okay, so I'll advance your snake and say, just knowing you for as long as I've known you, that I would say the cobra. Because
I disagree
because
on
you
it.
walked in you walk into a room, you think when the cobra starts to get excited, up, spreads out, and goes, "What's up, sucker?
What's up, baby?
No,
What's happening?
Cleveland Browns in the house?"
That's right.
That's what happened.
No.
But then there's also a time where he doesn't flare up. He's just going and just moving about his business.
And
It's almost like, don't fuck with him. He's cool as shit. He can be cool. But then also too, understanding that there are some cultures, they worship the snake.
Yeah, quite a few.
The snake is looked at as,
Wasn't it pretty
Yeah,
early in the
they're all
Bible?
They're all on peyote, dog.
Yeah.
No, you need to go eat next door.
so I don't know. But like I said, the first thing that came to my mind was just that I have to think about it more.
I have an animal that I think would match you the best.
I have to think about it more. But yeah,
To me, you strike me as an F1 Savannah cat. What I mean by that is you have cat-like, inquisitive character where you want to know everything and you want to get into something before you dive into it. But if you commit to something, you commit to something. On the outside, as you pull up in your car and you're set up and you're well put together, you go, oh man, that thing is cool as shit. But it's on your terms on whether you decide you're going to be a part of something or you're going to pull back. In my opinion, there's a cat-like element to your personality that is infectious for someone to be a part of, that you make the decision whether you're going to connect with them or not. And if you do connect and you do decide that's where you go, then you're fully in. That would be mine given to yours.
I like that.
Now, let's give one to Adrian.
Yeah, and
I've got one rattling in my head, but give one to Adrian. What do you guys think?
You already went.
No, I was fucking with you on that. But, so,
I did this with my wife, and it was interesting.
yeah. But I see Adrian as a Black Panther. Kind of quiet, walks around the outer edges. Could strike it. Could strike if it needs to. But he's always looking. He's always attentive. But he's not walking in the room and growling so everybody pays attention. He's just on that edge, looking at everything, walking slow, just paying attention to everything. And then if shit goes wrong, he pulls a gun out and he shoots him. So, but I think that I could see Adrian just on the backside of camp, just walking around real slow, going, "What's up, guys?"
More like a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just almost exactly like a Bigfoot, except you can't throw the rocks because it doesn't have their thumb.
Yeah, I like that. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, something that's
See
just
that?
always even keeled.
Okay.
Yeah,
What are we thinking?
I'm thinking.
Okay.
We'll come back to this next
There's
week.
got to be an app or a website that.
We'll come back to this week.
The qualifier.
I think
of
they have
experience.
one that's like Chinese. They have Chinese. I think they call it Chinese zodiac, where it's like there's an animal associated with your sign instead of the actual sign.
Don't trust it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
I heard
a rat.
my shit was the
I'm
pig.
out.
I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, we should look that up, the Chinese zodiac, and see what we are. But
But until that point, Anthony, sign us off.
We thank every one of you for tuning in today. It's been a great time, great conversation, lovely cigar. Here to the tobacco family, brothers and sisters of the leaf. We love you, we value you, we appreciate you. Come check out ICC anytime. You're more than welcome. Love you. Good night.
Amen.
Peace, guys.
right, awesome. That didn't hurt.
This was fun.